Want to speak real Korean from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at koreanclass101.com.
흥부와 놀부, 흥부 and 놀부, 흥부와 놀부, 흥부 and 놀부. So 흥부 and 놀부 are brothers. 흥부 is kind of kind, good, nice guy, but poor. 놀부 is the older brother of 흥부, and he is mean, bad, but rich guy. So it's kind of following the common storyline, like 놀부 had a lot of money, 흥부 wanted to borrow a little bit of rice or something to eat, but the older brother denied it. But one day, 흥부, the younger brother, did something good for a little bird, and the bird actually gave a lot of gift, so that 흥부 became rich and 놀부 became poor. So it's something like, if you be a good guy, then you can be rich or be happy. If you're a mean guy, you'll be just, become poor. And I can say, 흥부와 놀부를 읽으면서 흥부처럼 착하게 살아야 되겠다고 생각했습니다. I thought that I wanted to be a good guy while reading the story 흥부와 놀부. 효녀 심청, a filial daughter, 심청. 효녀 심청, a filial daughter, 심청. The main character is a very good girl whose name is 심청. And here we have the word 효녀, which means the girl who sacrificed a lot for her parents. 어렸을 때 효녀 심청 이야기를 듣고 많이 슬펐습니다. When I was reading the story filial daughter, 심청, when I was a kid, I was so sad. So anyway, she became queen, and then she later invited her father to where she lives so that they can be happily living together. 토끼의 간, the rabbit's liver. 토끼의 간, the rabbit's liver. So in this story, you have three characters, a rabbit, a turtle, and a king of the sea. And one day the king of sea became ill, so his doctor said that if you just eat rabbit's liver, then you become healthy again. So the king asked turtle to go to the land and get a liver of a rabbit. So the turtle went to the land and asked rabbit to go to the castle in the sea to see the king. So rabbit was happy to go there, and later found out that, actually king just wanted to have the rabbit's liver. So rabbit said that, oh, sorry, but, I really want to help you, but my river is in the land, so I have to go up there and bring my river back. And the entire castle, they thought that it's true, so they just let rabbit travel to the land. And then later when rabbit comes to the land, he just escaped. I don't know what's the moral of the story. Is it something like you have to be smart wherever you are, what situation you are in? But I thought it's kind of funny. It's very interesting to see how rabbit reacts, even though it was making a lie. It was kind of smart. So I like that kind of story. So I can say 토끼에 간 이야기를 읽으면서 토끼처럼 영리하게 살아야 되겠다고 생각했습니다. Which means reading the story Rabbit's Liver, I thought that I had to be smart like this rabbit. 견우와 직녀, 견우 and 직녀. 견우와 직녀, 견우 and 직녀. 견우 is a guy and 직녀 is a girl, and they married and they loved each other so much, having very lovely time together, but no work, they didn't work anything. And then God later found out that they just loved each other, but they didn't do any work. So he really got upset. 견우 and 직녀 got separated. God allowed them to see each other only once a year, which is July 7th in lunar calendar. 한국 사람들은 7월 7석에 비가 내리면 견우와 직녀가 눈물을 흘리는 거라고 생각합니다. On July 7th in lunar calendar, when there's rain, Korean people think that it's the tear from 견우 and 직녀. 선녀와 나무꾼, the fairy and the woodcutter. 선녀와 나무꾼, the fairy and the woodcutter. So it's kind of a story of a guy who was kind of threatening a girl because he wanted to get married. So I still don't know if it is really good story for kids or not. So in the sentence you can say 선녀와 나무꾼은 오래오래 행복하게 살지 못했습니다. The fairy and the woodcutter couldn't live happily forever. PyeongChang, PyeongChang. Okay, the first one is PyeongChang, PyeongChang, which means PyeongChang. PyeongChang is the city which will have the 2018 Winter Olympic this week. So I heard that some people are saying PyeongChang or PyeongChang, but like the correct pronunciation is PyeongChang. So you have to make sure to say A sound clearly in the second syllable, like PyeongChang, PyeongChang. That's the correct pronunciation for the city to have 2018 Winter Olympics. So in a sentence, you can say 평창 올림픽의 로고는 평창의 첫 자음 피읍과 치읓으로 디자인되어 있습니다. The PyeongChang Olympics logo was designed as PyeongChang's first consonants in Korean, 피읍 and 치읓. So when you see the logo, you can see that kind of sign, which looks like Greek temples, like they have columns and everything. That might be true, but it also is from the consonant 피읍, which is for P sound, because PyeongChang has that kind of consonant. And the other one looks like a star. For me, it looks like that is for the consonant 치읓, which is for ch sound, because PyeongChang, the second syllable, has ch sound. So P, ch. That's what you can find in logo, because that is the first consonants of the word PyeongChang. 동계올림픽, Winter Olympics. Next we have 동계올림픽, 동계올림픽, Winter Olympics. So here we have the word 동계 that can be used when the event is kind of seasonal. Like there are two different types of Olympics. One is in summer and the other is in winter. So in that case, we have to use the word like 동계, which literally means winter season, or 하계, which literally means summer season, not using 겨울 or 여름, which means winter and summer in general. So that's why we call 동계올림픽, which literally means winter season Olympic, not like 겨울 Olympic, although that means winter Olympics. In a sentence, we can say 2018년 동계올림픽은 평창에서, 2020년 하계올림픽은 도쿄에서 열립니다. The 2018 Winter Olympics will be held in PyeongChang, and the 2020 Summer Olympics will be held in Tokyo. 강원도, Gangwon Province. Next we have 강원도, Gangwon Province. So Gangwon is the name of the province, and do is used to mean something like province in South Korean. So when you say the name of this province, make sure to say 강원도, not like Gangwon-do. I can see some foreigners, they say G-A-N-G as gang, but in Korean, you have to say 강 with a strong A sound. So make sure to say 강원도, 강원도, not like Gangwon-do. When you look at the map, you can see the province on the northernmost part of South Korea. Since there are a lot of high mountains, it also has a lot of coldest cities in South Korea. For example, PyeongChang, the city to have Olympics, and Gangneung, Sokcho, and the other cities too. That's why you can easily find ski resorts of South Korea in that province. In a sentence, you can say, 강원도는 한국에서 가장 추운 도시들이 모여 있습니다. Gangwon Province has the coldest cities in Korea. 강릉, 강릉. Next we have 강릉, 강릉, 강릉. So the same thing, like if you want to pronounce it correctly, make sure to say 강 for the first syllable, not like gang. I can hear some people say 강릉 like in some different way, but when you see G-A-N-G, you have to say 강 in Korean. So 강릉 is the correct way to say the name of this city. And although it has the consonant 를, which is for L sound, when we say it, we change it to N sound. So it becomes 강릉, not 강릉. In a sentence, we can say 하키와 스케이트 경기는 강릉에서 열릴 예정입니다. Which means hockey and skating competitions will be held in 강릉. Alpensia, Alpensia. Next we have Alpensia, Alpensia, Alpensia. So as you know, you can find a lot of ski resorts in Gangwon Province, and one of the big ski resorts is called Alpensia. The correct way to say is Alpensia, Alpensia. You can for sure say Alpensia or in different way, but if you want to sound like a native Korean, you can say Alpensia. So in a sentence, you can say 알펜시아는 알프스라는 의미의 독일어 단어 알펜과 아시아를 합쳐 만든 단어로 아시아의 알프스라는 의미입니다. Alpensia is a word made by combining a German word Alpen, which means Alps, and Asia, so it means the Alps of Asia. So Alpensia is of course in Gangwon Province, Gangwon-do, and it is also near the city PyeongChang. Since it's a ski resort, it's going to hold a lot of skiing competitions. So if you're a big fan of ski, you can probably try to stay at the resort or around this resort so that you can enjoy all the competitions. 인천공항, Incheon Airport, 인천공항, 인천공항, Incheon Airport. This is the biggest international airport in South Korea, so if you want to visit Korea and PyeongChang from other countries, this would be the airport that you might have to visit first. I think it's always be ranked as top 5 airports in the world, so I think everything will be convenient for you at the airport. And a sentence you can say, 인천공항은 서울 바로 옆에 있는 인천시에 위치해 있습니다. Incheon Airport is located in Incheon City right next to Seoul. One good thing about the Incheon Airport is the access to other cities because you can easily take a subway to the center of the city, which will only take about 40 minutes. And it costs very cheap, like it's always less than 10 US dollars. And if you want to go to other cities, you can also easily take a bus inside the building. KTX, Korea Train Express. KTX, Korea Train Express. So it's like TGV in France or Shinkansen in Japan, which runs very fast. So to PyeongChang from Seoul, it only takes about 1 hour if you take a KTX. They also run a special train from Incheon Airport to PyeongChang, which will only take about 98 minutes. So that means you don't have to transfer to the other train. You can just sit in the same train from Incheon Airport and go to PyeongChang, which will be very convenient. By a bus, I think it takes about 3 hours, but you can just go there very fast. In a sentence, you can say, 평창에 가는 KTX 표는 어디에서 살 수 있나요? Where can I buy a KTX ticket to PyeongChang? So if you want to buy a KTX ticket, you can also for sure book your ticket online or also buy it at the airport too. So if you're not sure how to do that, you can for sure ask someone at the information desk, which you can easily find anywhere at the airport. 진부역, 진부 station, 진부역, 진부역, 진부 station. So when you want to go to PyeongChang, make sure to get off the train in Jinbu station. There's no PyeongChang station for KTX. So you have to buy a ticket for 진부역, 진부 station, and then take a shuttle bus or take a taxi to the stadiums. So if you want to buy a KTX ticket to 진부 station, you can say 진부역까지 가는 KTX 표는 얼마예요? How much is the KTX ticket to 진부 station? And if you want to go to PyeongChang and come back to Seoul several times, you can also think about to buy PyeongChang pass. Like if you just pay for a certain amount of money, you can use KTX for 5 days or 7 days without extra cost. 시외버스, intercity bus. 시외버스, 시외버스, intercity bus. So it really means a bus going to outside of a city, because 시 means city and 외 means outside. So there are several ways to go to PyeongChang. You can actually take a bus to PyeongChang too. In that case, you can get a bus from the Incheon Airport or a bus terminal in Seoul and say, 평창에 가는 시외버스 표 주세요. I'd like an intercity bus ticket for PyeongChang. 가주세요. Please go to. 가주세요. 가주세요. Please go to. So after you arrive at the 진부 station, 진부역, after taking a KTX, the easiest way to go to a stadium will be by taking a taxi. Taxi is very cheap in South Korea. Whatever you imagine, it'll be cheaper than that. When you get on a taxi, you can for sure talk to the taxi driver in English, say where you want to go, but you can try to say your destination using very simple Korean phrase, which is 가주세요. For example, if you want to go to Gangneung Intercity Bus Terminal, which is Gangneung 시외버스 Terminal, you can say Gangneung 시외버스 Terminal까지 가주세요. Please go to Gangneung Intercity Bus Terminal. 표, ticket. 표, ticket. For sure, you can buy tickets online, and also you can buy it at the stadiums in PyeongChang. If you want to buy a ticket in the ticket booth, you just have to say the name of the sport and say 표. For example, ice hockey 표 means tickets for ice hockey. So in a sentence, you can say ice hockey 표 2장 주세요. I'd like 2 tickets for the ice hockey game. Figure skating is one of the very popular winter sports in South Korea, so I believe there should be many Korean people who want to buy the tickets too. So if you want to buy the tickets for the figure skating, say figure skating 표 주세요, which means I'd like a ticket for figure skating and make sure to buy it before all other people. 예약, reservation. 예약, 예약, reservation. This word can be mean for anything, right? Reservation at a restaurant, 식당 예약, and also for sure you can also use it to say 표 예약, reservation for tickets. So in a sentence you can say 인터넷에서 표를 예약했어요. I booked a ticket on the internet. Or if you want to make a reservation in advance, you can also say 예약하고 싶어요. I like to make a reservation. So since reservation or reservation is not that the English word that many people can understand, I think it's better to remember this word if you want to make a reservation or if you already booked your ticket online, so that the other Korean people can understand what you're saying. 예약 is the word to mean reservation. 오늘 경기, today's game. 오늘 경기, 오늘 경기, today's game. 오늘 means today and 경기 means game, like sports competitions. So if you want to buy a ticket for today's game, you can say 오늘 경기표 살 수 있나요? Can I buy tickets for today's game? For sure, you can replace 오늘 with something else like 내일, which means tomorrow, and say 내일 경기표 살 수 있나요? Can I buy tickets for tomorrow's game? In English, like they have a small s, like today's game. So you might want to say 오늘의 game using the 에, the possessive particle, but it sounds more natural to say something without 에. Instead of saying 오늘의 경기, it's better to say 오늘 경기 if you want to mean today's game. 할인, discount. 할인, 할인, discount. If you want to buy tickets with a discounted price, check how old you are. If you are 65 or older, or if you are 18 or younger, you can get 50% discount. So in that case, you can simply show your passport or ID showing your age to get the discount. So if you are in that kind of age group, you can say 할인 되나요? Can I get some discounts? 환불, refund. 환불, 환불, refund. In general, the PyeongChang Olympics game tickets are not refundable, but if it is cancelled by the heavy weather or some other issues that is not your fault, you can get a refund. In that case, you can go to a ticket booth and say 환불해 주세요. Please refund. Check-in, check-in, check-in. So after you arrive in PyeongChang City, PyeongChang-si, and your hotel, first thing you want to do is check-in. In Korean, it's kind of the same pronunciation. Check-in, that's the word for check-in. So probably, when you see the bellboys or someone helping you to take out the luggages from your taxi, you can say check-in 하고 싶은데요. I'd like to check in. Then the bellboy or the staff of the hotel will help you to go to the check-in desk. If you want to do checkout, in Korean, you can say check out, check out. And you can say check out 하고 싶은데요. I like to check out. So PyeongChang is not a city for tourists. Usually they have a lot of ski resorts. So people usually stay in ski resorts, not the hotels outside. So there's not that many like branded hotels, but you can also find some local hotels there too. I heard that the price is also very high during the Olympic season. So you can also think about staying in the other city close to PyeongChang. so that you don't have to spend too much time for your stay. josik, josik, breakfast. So the word josik has two Chinese characters. Jo means morning and sik means something to eat or eating. So it means meal in the morning. So usually when you have a breakfast at a Korean hotel, you can for sure find kimchi and white rice. You can also find some soups too. And in some nice hotels, you can also enjoy the different types of kimchi too. So if you are a fan of Korean food, but if you're not sure, like if you want to have everything in Korean, you can try some Korean food during the breakfast and see which one you like. And since there are not that many restaurants open in the morning near your hotel, especially in PyeongChang City, it's better to include breakfast in your stay. So if you want to make sure the breakfast is included in your stay, you can ask, 조식도 포함되나요? Is breakfast included? Here we have the verb 포함되다, which means to include. So using that, you can ask if the breakfast is a part of the stay or if you have to pay something. 도움, help. I believe many of you should be new to PyeongChang. So if you need any help, you can use this word 도움 and say 도움을 받고 싶은데요. I'd like some help. Or if you are in an emergency and if you need some help urgently, you can say 도와주세요, which literally means please help, or it means something like help. But it sounds a little strong. Like if you say 도와주세요, and it sounds like you are really in an emergency, so you have to do something right away. And if you're really in an emergency and if you're alone, you can call 119 if it is about fire or some medical emergencies, or 112 if you want to call a police. So remember 119 for fire or medical emergencies, 112 to call a police. So if you're just looking for a restaurant or a way to go to your stadium, you can say 도움을 받고 싶은데요. I'd like some help. And for sure, if you stay at a hotel, you can ask the staff at the concierge or at a check-in desk. They will be willing to help you. 추천, recommendation. So 추천 is very general word that you can use to mean any types of recommendation. So for example, if you're looking for a good restaurant, you can say 맛있는 식당 추천해 주세요, which means please recommend a delicious restaurant. Literally, or it means something like please recommend a good restaurant. You can say 좋은 식당, which means good restaurant, literally too, but 맛있는 식당 is used more often, so you can use the noun 맛있는 식당 to refer to a good restaurant. Most of the hotel staff should be from Gangwon Province, Gangwon-do, or the PyeongChang City. So I believe they know the best place to do shopping, best place to eat something. So you can, ask them to recommend anything by saying 추천해 주세요. Please recommend something. 저기요, excuse me. I believe this is the magic word. Like, let's say you are outside the hotel, but you're not sure if the person over there speaks English or not. So in that case, you can just say 저기요 to get the attention of the person. That means, excuse me. And then if you want to make sure if the person speaks English or not, you can say 영어 하세요. It literally means, do you do English? But it means something like, do you speak English? I can guarantee you that many people in 30s or under speak English, so they will be able to help you directly. Even if you meet someone older than 30 or 40, I believe they can read English letters and understand the meaning. So if you're having some communication issue in PyeongChang or in South Korea, you can just write down what you want to say and just show that to the person if the person doesn't understand what you are trying to say. 마스코트 인형, 마스코트, 마스코트 인형, mascot doll. There are two mascots for the PyeongChang Olympics. One is called 수호랑, which is white tiger, and the other is 반다비, which is a black bear. I can see they are always working together. You will be able to see them at the airport too, and any place you go during the Olympic Games. And if you have a kid, I think that can be a good souvenir. Like you can just buy mascot dolls, both characters for your kids. In that case, you can say 올림픽 마스코트 인형 하나 주세요. Please give me one Olympic mascot doll. Or you can just say the name of the character too, saying 수호랑 하나 주세요. Please give me 수호랑, the white tiger, or 반다비 하나 주세요. Please give me 반다비, a black bear. PyeongChang long padding, PyeongChang long padded courts. PyeongChang long padding, PyeongChang long padded courts. I think about 4 or 5 months ago, when the winter started, people are rushing into a department store to buy this PyeongChang long padding, the PyeongChang long padded coat. It's black and it's covering everything up to down to your knees. It's kind of very long, and people liked it because the price was reasonable and the quality was very good. I heard that like if you want to buy the coat in the same quality, you have to pay twice. So people were lining up inside the department store to buy it. So it was kind of becoming very like demanded. But I think there might be some stocks left. So if you want to try it, you can go to 롯데백화점, Lotte Department Store, which is a sponsor to the Olympic Games, and then ask PyeongChang long padding을 사고 싶은데요. I like to buy PyeongChang long padded coats. Facial pack, facial masks. Facial pack, facial masks. So I can see Chinese tourists, they love shopping in Korea, but among them, the number one selling item is this, facial pack, facial masks. I also like it because there are a lot of different types of the facial masks, and especially Korean winter is so cold and dry. So when you go back home, if you want to moisture your skin, you can easily just take a sheet of this mask and just put it on your face. Then you can keep your skin moistured for a couple of extra hours. So if you're at a shop and if you want to buy this kind of facial pack, facial masks, you can say facial pack은 어디 있어요? Where are the facial masks? 화장품, cosmetics. 화장품, cosmetics. If you're not a big fan of facial masks because it might look a little bit interesting if you wear it, you can also buy some cosmetics for yourself or for your family and friends, because there are a lot of well-known Korean brands for cosmetics business. Some of the well-known brands are 설화수 or Innisfree, and you can buy some unique local cosmetics brand and their products easily in PyeongChang and South Korea. So if you're at a shop and if you're not sure what to buy, you can say 가장 인기 있는 화장품을 보여주세요, which means please show me the most popular cosmetics. For sure, you can replace 화장품 with something else to say what's the most popular something. Saying 가장 인기 있는 술을 보여주세요. Please show me the most popular drink. 김, seaweed snacks. 김, seaweed snacks. Kim literally means just seaweed that you can get from the sea. But when you go to a shop and say kim, that could mean something like seaweed snacks. You know, we put some salt over the seaweed and also put some special oil on it. It tastes sweet and salty. So I heard that kids, they really like it because it's a little bit crispy too. So they like the kind of texture and also taste. So I heard that some of the kids, they visit Korea and they go back to their country and they still love it. So that's one of the reasons that their family often go to Korean market in the country. If you have kids or if you want to bring some special snacks from PyeongChang or South Korea, you can go to a shop and say, 김 한 상자에 얼마예요? How much is a box of seaweed snacks? One box usually have 6 or 8 packs inside. And you can finish one pack for each meal, so you can calculate it and see how much boxes you need to buy.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.